What happens when justice is denied? When a woman is pushed aside, silenced, and forgotten by the very ones meant to protect her? In the heart of an ancient world ruled by men, one woman rose, not with a sword, but with strategy. Her name was Tamar, and her story is one of righteous scandal. It is a tale of loss, injustice, and a bold, divine breakthrough. A woman shamed by the system, yet honored by heaven. Today, we step into her world, a world where silence was expected, but courage roared louder. This is not just a Bible story. This is a revelation. Tamar first appears in Genesis 38. She is not introduced with great detail, no lineage, no miracles, no prophetic dreams. She enters the scene quietly, married off to Er, the firstborn son of Judah, one of the 12 sons of Jacob. But don't let the quiet beginning fool you. What follows is a turning point in redemptive history. Judah, having separated himself from his brothers, marries a Canaanite woman and has 3 sons, Onan, and Shelah. When Er becomes of age, Judah chooses Tamar as his bride. But the Bible says was wicked in the eyes of the Lord, so wicked, God struck him dead. Just like that, Tamar becomes a widow. No children, no protection, no future. But in ancient custom, hope remained. Levirate law required the next brother to marry the widow and raise children in the name of the deceased. It was not merely cultural, it was survival. Judah gives Onan to Tamar, but Onan refuses. He goes through the motions of intimacy, yet intentionally prevents conception. Why? Because he knew the child would not be considered his. And once again, God intervenes. Onan is also struck dead. 2 husbands gone, no child. To others, it looked like Tamar was cursed. To Tamar, it was the death of her last hope. Judah, now fearful, tells Tamar, "Live as a widow in your father's house until my son Shelah grows up." But behind that promise was hesitation, doubt, perhaps even blame. Shelah grows up, but Judah never calls Tamar back. He has no intention of fulfilling his word. To him, Tamar is bad luck, dangerous, untouchable. So Tamar waits. She watches the years pass, the silence grow louder, and her dreams slowly fade. She is a woman put on hold, not by God, but by man's injustice. But here's the beauty. While others thought Tamar was finished, she was only getting started. Then one day, Tamar hears a whisper. Judah is traveling to Timnah for sheep shearing. She sees an opening, a moment, and she makes a decision no one saw coming. She removes her widow's garments. She veils her face. She sits by the roadside at the entrance to Enaim, where Judah will pass. This isn't a seduction. This is strategy, justice, a woman demanding to be seen. Judah doesn't recognize her. He believes she is a prostitute and propositions her. Tamar, wise and unflinching, asks for a pledge, his seal, his cord, and his staff. In that moment, power shifted. The symbols of Judah's identity and authority now rested in her hands. They lie together, and Tamar disappears. Days later, Judah sends payment, but the woman is gone. He's puzzled, embarrassed, but lets the matter drop to avoid public shame. Tamar, however, returns home, quiet, waiting. 3 months pass. Then the whisper becomes thunder. Tamar is pregnant. Judah burns with anger. Bring her out, he says. Let her be burned. Burned for breaking a law he himself had broken. Burned for dishonoring a family that had already dishonored her. But Tamar does not plead. She does not scream. She sends a message, and with it, the seal, the cord, and the staff. I am pregnant by the man who owns these, she says. Judah sees, recognizes, realizes, and he declares before all, she is more righteous than I, because I would not give her to my son Shelah. In that moment, Tamar wins, not just justice, but honor. She is no longer a pawn. She is a force, a vessel, a chosen woman in God's story. Tamar gives birth to twins, Perez and Zerah. As Zerah's hand emerges first, a midwife ties a scarlet thread to mark the firstborn. But something unexpected happens. Perez bursts forth ahead of his brother. His name means breaking out, and that is exactly what Tamar's story is. A breakout, a disruption of injustice, a prophetic act in a patriarchal world. And Perez? He becomes the great-great-grandfather of King David. Yes, out of scandal comes a crown. Centuries later, in Matthew chapter 1, a genealogy unfolds. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, and Perez, whose mother was Tamar. Only 5 women are named in the genealogy of Jesus. Tamar is the first. Not Sarah, not Rebecca, not Rachel, but Tamar, the woman who veiled her face and uncovered injustice. Tamar's name lives on, not because of shame, but because of purpose. Not because of scandal, but because of righteousness. Her story reminds us that the world may judge by appearances, but God sees the heart, the pain, the fight. How many women today are like Tamar? Denied, forgotten, labeled, silenced. How many have had to fight just to be heard? Tamar's story is not just about ancient justice. It is about the courage to act when the world says, sit still. She didn't wait for rescue. She didn't accept the silence. She chose boldness, and God chose her. So, to every woman watching this, if you feel unseen, unheard, discarded, know this: God still writes stories with women like Tamar. Tamar didn't have an army. She didn't have a voice in the temple. She had a veil, a plan, and unshakable courage. And with that, she shaped the destiny of nations. What will you do with your pain? What will you do with your silence? May Tamar's story whisper to your spirit, you are not forgotten, you are chosen, and your breakthrough is coming. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if this story moved you. Leave a comment. What stood out most about Tamar's story? Until next time, stay bold, stay rooted, and stay faithful.